Welcome back to Health and Wellness West Georgia. Dr. Allison Key, and I'm joined right now by Vanessa Musick. So we've been talking a little bit about our nonprofit arm, Be the Light Medical Missions, some of the missions we do locally, and then we have joined in with Go Project World, and we've done some medical mission trips in Honduras, and we have another one coming up. And so a lot of times people will say, that people don't fully understand why we go abroad to do mission trips when there's so much work to be done here. And there is work to be done here always. But there is a different level of poverty that you encounter in a developing country is the appropriate term now. We don't say third world countries anymore, developing country. But Honduras is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. And so when you consider all those people, but then you go and you see this level of poverty and you think, what's the point of what we're doing here? You know, does this one drop of good make any difference
Absolutely.
in a huge situation?
Yes.
And you shared a story with me just in conversation a few weeks ago, so I wanted you to share it if you're comfortable doing that.
Yes, absolutely. I think for my family and my parents so my dad is from Nicaragua and my mom is from El Salvador. I grew up traveling to El Salvador and Nicaragua pretty much from the age of 14. And with time, I've been able to kind of just learn how fortunate we are here in the United States of all the awesome things. But I know that my parents have shared, stories of struggles that they went through when they lived there. One of those being my dad, he shared that he didn't get his first pair of shoes until he was about the age of 8 or 9.
Wow.
And he would just talk about,
He didn't have a pair of shoes at all.
Until
he's 8 or 9 years old.
Yep, till he was 8 or 9. And he just mentioned that he either said it was some missionaries or just some people that gave him some shoes. And I'll be honest with you, every time that I buy a new pair of shoes, I think of that story.
I'm sure.
Just because, we're fortunate to be able to walk into a store, go buy some shoes just because I want to. And just to think that there are children in these countries that don't have shoes until they're 8 or 9, and sometimes even older. And when we travel over there, I'm able to see, they're walking to church and they're barefoot sometimes.
Yeah.
But they're determined, and it's not stopping them from living their life, which is incredible and something to definitely admire. But it's very humbling at times.
And we take so much for granted here. And you said that your dad, it was that drop of hope, that somebody gave him this pair of shoes, whether a missionary or some other person reaching out, and that it changed things for him and gave him a little bit of hope. And also something that we take for granted because I think it's woven into the tapestry of who we are as Americans is like, the American dream, like you can do, if I can get to America, I can do anything. I was born an American, I can do anything. And so to just have a little bit of encouragement is sometimes what you need to dream, to get up the next day and to keep going.
Absolutely. And I think that's exactly the drop of hope that my dad needed. With those shoes, I think that those shoes were the catalyst and the start of many things for him. He was able to accomplish a lot of things, come to the United States. But because of him, my parents, I've been able to also accomplish a lot of things here. But it's incredible to hear the stories, even kind of what Krista was talking about, just the houses that have, there are no floors. Sometimes the roof is made out of sticks and leaves. And really it's kind of a picture out of a movie that it's unbelievable, you know, but it is the reality of a lot of people. But because of people like you and Medical Missions and Miss Krista and just all these different people, you guys provide hope for people like my dad, bringing them shoes, bringing them medical care, things that they might not have access to ever unless mission trips come down for all these things, dentals. I know that there are people who go down for dental missions, medical missions, houses, all kinds of different stuff. So it's incredible.
Those basic needs, you know, food, shelter, water, clean water, you know, there's still needs in a large part of the world. And so it's just humbling to be part of that. The American dream, you know, you give your children a better life than you have, you know, you work hard. And so that is important to me, is that I want my children to understand that there's need in the world. And when God's given you a beautiful, blessed life, it's your responsibility to help share that with others. It's not just for you to hoard it up and live like Scrooge McDuck. You got to go and do and give and help. And so they love going. We're excited about going. You are our spicy little Hispanic mama. You're going to be translating all the directions for the medicines. So we can have labels and help kind of provide some clarity on that.
And I am so excited for you guys. I'm so sad I'm not going. But you know,
next time.
Yes, next time I am definitely making the trip down.
Just take Charlie with you. That was a big thing for our family. So I really wanted to go, and David was nervous about, you know, leaving the children, and I wasn't going unless we were taking the children. He's like, well, we're definitely not taking the children to this place. And so we just waited till they were out of diapers, old enough to mind and listen and, you know, halfway behave as much as Luke does. And
well, and I'll tell you this, growing up, going over there and just being able to see stuff, you know, stories like this, I definitely want Charlie to grow up, because I want her to see that, you know, it's not like you know, it's not like here everywhere, you know? And so I think that's great that you take your kids over there, because it's such a lesson. I remember the very first time I went to Nicaragua, so the water would run out at like 6 o'clock at night. And so my mom would tell me, you have to go to the bathroom, or you have to use, like, you would have to like flush your own toilet type situation. And, you know, as a 12-year-old,
you were horrified.
I was like, I'm ready to go home like right now. And it was such a life lesson. And I just remember coming home and being like, I'm so thankful for water, but you really don't think about those things. And I want Charlie to grow up and be thankful for those things, because we can just go to the sink and turn on the water, and there it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's hopefully the plan. We actually plan on going to Nicaragua this Christmas. My husband is from Carrollton originally, and he has never been out to, you know, where I'm from. So I'm excited for him to also meet, you know, kind of see all that stuff.
Experience all of that with you. Yeah. We've just finished up a flip-flop drive at 316 because talking about shoes, like that's what we're going to take with us when we go is bags full of flip-flops. Now people will have some shoes, some children will have some shoes, foot care. Awesome. Maybe foot care will be an important topic for us on a future episode of Health and Wellness West Georgia, because it is important. When your feet are bad or your back is bad, it's hard to do much. So now hopefully all the people we encounter will have the opportunity to have something fresh and new to protect their feet as they're out walking around.
Yes, and hopefully, well, I'm sure we'll have some other drive for our other mission trip that's coming up later this fall. So definitely keep your eyes posted for that so you can donate.
Absolutely.
But I think the flip-flop drive is going to be incredible. Those kids are going to love that.
I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. So thank you guys for tuning in again. Join us next time. And don't forget to email us if you have burning questions, topics, places that you want us to visit and cover for Health and Wellness West Georgia. Info at 316healthcare.us. Until next time, y'all take care.